I'm joking with that. But this is gonna be not a doozy, but this is my opinion on Castlevania. This is my experience with Castlevania The Dracula X Chronicles. PSP game, you know, the main game. There's going to be a follow-up to this, and you're going to see what I mean, right? But I want to talk about this game for a little bit and just kind of move on, because some of these My Experience videos need to be made, they need to be done already. Okay, you get it, right? So, this game right here, oh, alright, so, this game, right, alright, I was trying, mainly this game, I played this game and dealt with this game for one reason. I wanted to find a way to play Symphony of the Night. Another Castlevania game that basically I love to death, right? Or not love to death, but more like, well, Hyperpunk, welcome to stream, man. Welcome to stream. So, basically, Castlevania The Dracula, Dracula X Chronicles, I was trying to find a way to play Symphony Night, Castlevania Symphony Night, you know, with Alucard as the main character. This was the only way I could play Symphony of the Night, is playing this PSP remake of Ronaldo of Blood. Now, Ronaldo of Blood, for anyone that wants to know, is Castlevania Dracula X, but, you know, for the computer systems, like, it's a remake of that game, but it's also Dracula X for the Super Nintendo, right? And as you guys know, I'm an avid Castlevania fan myself. I love Castlevania, the classic style of Castlevania. Not really the new style, but the classic style of Castlevania, right? So, when I got into this game, and this game plays exactly like Ronaldo of Blood, right? The classic Castlevania style, right? But when I saw this gameplay, right, and the way it looks, because they're going the 3D model route, they're not doing the 2D route, like the 2D sprite-based route that Castlevania's kind of been known for, right? I'm kind of sitting there wondering, like, I don't know, like, my interest in this game sort of went from, I really enjoy this, to, I think this is just okay at best. I don't know, it just, something about, like, this remake, or PSP remakes to me, that just give me the, this game is okay vibe. Because I played, like, a few other remakes on the PSP, like the Mega Man ones, and I thought those ones were, like, okay to average at best, right? So we get into stage 1. I'm like, what happened to the music? And I hate it when remakes do this. Because you hear this theme. Hear it. I'm going to shut the fuck up. Hear the theme. Right? And I know people are going to probably come up to me and tell me, Alan, why are you getting like this? It's just a video game theme. Brother, for anyone who plays video games, who play remakes, and the remake doesn't stay faithful to the original track in some way, and they change it, and because let me tell you something, right? The reason why I hate this remake, or I really dislike it, is not only because everything is in 3D now, and usually I like more of the sprite-based looks for Castlevania characters, even though I didn't really mind them all that much in Ultimate, you know, Smash Bros. Ultimate, because, you know, it's a fighting game or whatever, I didn't really mind it all too much, but when I saw everything in 3D, like the Ronaldo of Blood shit and everything, and I'm hearing the new OST, my brain to this game immediately turned off, because guess what? Dracula X, level 1 theme. Right? Because when I think of this theme, and when I think of Ronaldo Blood / Dracula X, I think of stage 1 bloodliness, or bloodness, right? When I hear that theme that was in the remake that played just now, it was the total disgrace, because keep in mind, months back, I played Castlevania Dracula X for the first time on my Nintendo Switch, right? Or I was on emulator at first, but then I moved to Nintendo Switch, because I ended up asking Louis to buy me Castlevania, because I was into it at the time. But you get my point, right? I'm still into Castlevania. I still love Castlevania, like old school Castlevania to death. I'm gonna Bring that to the grave with me. But when I hear that theme in the remake, I immediately knew I wasn't going to like it because I not only thought the gameplay was boring and it felt like the essence and the weight of the gameplay from the classic game didn't carry over in the remake, but I also don't like how the characters look and how the characters are designed and look in 3D. I just didn't really necessarily care for anything, and I was really trying to play the game, again, the remake, for Symphony of the Night, the main game I really wanted, the Castlevania game I truly wanted to play, not this remake of Ronaldo of Blood. Trust me, if I wanted to play Ronaldo of Blood, I would have played the Sega Genesis version of Ronaldo of Blood, or not the Sega Genesis, but more like, you know, like the thing for the computers, you know, that's the version I would have played. So anyways, when I heard that theme, I hear that remake theme as a total fucking disgrace of music. Disgusting. I fucking hate that shit. But when you put on Castlevania Dracula X, the original, oh yeah. This, I couldn't believe it was on a Super Nintendo. I couldn't believe it was on a Super Nintendo. Now you might be thinking, Alan, do you really hate this game only because of the music? No, I hate the game, how it overall looks, the overall feel of the remake. I hate it. It's boring, and I remember it did not stimulate any Castlevania vibes. So, right? But, like, anyways, create another thumb for the next stream? Probably, I don't fucking know. But anyways, I digress, right? I hate that remake because not only it butchers the music, because I'm and I know I sound like a fucking purist. I don't give a fuck, right? But the way they did it in Dracula X was so good, and seeing that this remake does what Dracula X does and just kind of ruins it in a way, and gives it new life, but like life that I don't necessarily like. Because a great example of a remake gone right is Super Mario RPG. Even though there's still some things I felt like that game should have either removed, or, you know, some things that I felt like they could have even more shit they could have added. The original version of this Castlevania is better than this shit. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Because, in my opinion, I feel like Dracula X, the original version of Ronaldo of Blood, is way better than this PSP slop that was in my face. And keep in mind, I already was not interested in this game, but keep in mind, it was the only way I could play Symphony of the Night, right? And I spent hours trying to look up ways, like, okay, how do I beat this boss? What do I need to do in order for me to get this disgusting piece of trash remake out of my fucking face so I can go play the game, Castlevania game I truly wanted to deep dive into, right? Because, and I keep in mind, guys, I was trying to find multiple different alternatives for fucking hours. I was trying to get the Sega Genesis version to work. I was trying to get the PS1 version to work. I was trying to do all sorts of shit to try and find copies for cheap, try to fucking, you know, try to find some type of emulator to make it run, and motherfucker bitches was not running. Like, everything I did, nothing was fucking working, right? Until I found the PSP game that was telling me, hey, play this remake, get to a certain stage, break a certain thing, and you'll unlock Symphony of the Night. You know, as a little bonus game. And I'm like, you know, why didn't Super Mario RPG Remake do this? As their minigame can be play the original version of Super Mario RPG without even, you know, I don't know why they didn't even fucking bother to think of that. I felt like that was a fucking thing they could have added in their game. And I'm kind of jealous that this shitty remake, got that shit right in comparison to Super Mario RPG. But anyways, I digress, right? And some of the boss fights I did deal with in that remake game, I felt like were okay at best. And I do like how the one thing I'll probably give this remake is how they introduce the boss fights. I love how they give like the boss fights a little bit more of an introduction than like the 2D games. But other than that, this remake I had no interest in whatsoever, right? Not a shred of interest. I didn't like it. I didn't care much for it. I just didn't give a fuck. And now it's like I don't give a fucking spades about this remake. And honestly, I thought this remake was a big fat waste of my fucking time because, again, and I even fucked up the secret to try to get Symphony of the Night the first time I played. So I wasted time on top of time I could have done, use that time to try to reach the secret in order to unlock Symphony Night in this shitty ass remake. And by the way, I had to play about 2 to 3 stages, and one of the stages has an alternate path that I kind of fucked up on. Anyways, other than that, that's honestly how I feel about this game. I was not interested in this whatsoever. I didn't care about the gameplay. I didn't care about the story. I didn't care about the music. I definitely didn't care for. I did not care about none of that. And I just thought this game was a piece of shit. But anyways, I'll see you guys in a little bit. We need to do the part 2 to this review. Anyways, be back in a sec.